I'm scared of Vanessa. It's because you don't force pufferfish, unfortunately. I really hope that's not it. Because, admittedly, I do force pivots away from pufferfish pretty quickly a lot of the time as Vanessa. Which... if the answer is just get the turtle shell, lol. Oh. Out of the characters that aren't released yet, which are you looking forward to the most? Jules. Jules the chef. Jules the chef, 100%. Mac is in a weird place. When you look at Mac's items as they currently exist in the game, you can't, or at least I can't, really discern the way in which Mac's toolkit makes a character that can work at all. Might just be me. And Stell, I also feel relatively similar about. Of course, neither of them have much of their item set in the game at the moment. Jules certainly, I think, has more of her item set represented. But Jules also seems like much more of a fun character, and also thematically much more enjoyable as you're using all of these little ingredients to make dishes on your, like, it's so cool. The butter makes the curry go faster so that you can get the hot peppers, it's dripping with flavor, and that wasn't intentionally a pun. Katana, every 2 seconds, deal 8 damage. The idea would be getting damage buffs for this. There's also Lighter. I feel like Lighter is such a weak pick now. Every 3 seconds, burn 2. Ever since Vanessa doesn't really care about how many times you burn anymore, Lighter's been really rough. Pop Snappers for a better lighter that has ammo, and then Bouldest. 4 seconds, deal 40 damage, slow an item 3 seconds, 2 ammo. I'm gonna take Katana here, I think. I think Katana is probably the best of these opening items, and then trying to find Switchblade, Honing Steel, Silencer, Shadowed Cloak from any of the early fights that can offer it, any damage buffs, all of these kinds of things in order to support the damage that it does. Lighter is great on burn dually. Yeah, it's a great dually item. In the same way that the duct tape is an incredible pig item. I'm going to take the Katana, I think, here. Chat, how unreasonable would it be if I went to Curio specifically looking for Shadowed Cloak right now? Level 1 Shadowed Cloak gets Katana down to 1 second cooldown, which is as fast as it can go. And also gives it damage scaling. I would have enough money to go to Curio and roll, and that's it. Then I spend all of my money.
Sails down, anchors up. Just waiting for your command.
It's dumb. It's too dumb. This is a bad idea, Yaya. This is an awful idea. What's the likelihood of it? It's 15% chance. Apparently, it's a 15% chance to see Shadowed Cloak each of the Curio stores. Seems like a dumb idea. You should do it. I think it might actually just be too dumb for me, even. Y'all, I would give in to the meme if I hadn't started this run by telling you that I'm bad at this character and I need to learn how to actually win as her. I would give in to the meme. Please, I want you to know I would do that. I can't do that right now. Banana Ball, that's honestly a lot of shielding. Kyber Drone, cooldown reduction, crit chance. Kyber Drone also probably has the best pairing here, which is the training. Actually, I'm gonna go to Kyber for exactly that reason. So, trained. the skill. When you slow, a weapon gains 5 damage to the fight. If I could just have Katana, and then the rest of my board focuses on slow, so we get Dock Lines at Silver Tier, we get a Luzo Ray, possibly with a couple of friend adjacencies, things like that. Do you have a mod for the odds? Didn't see it before? Yeah, it doesn't show up on the overlay here. But I have a mod that used to just show me, like, here's what the enemy is, and here's what they have, because otherwise I would just have Bazaar GG open up on the other screen so I could remember what the enemies have. But now it also shows you what items are available in each shop, which is cool. Does how Bazaar cover it? The same information? No.
Spineless as a jellyfish.
Not what's available in each shop. At least not in a way that I find legible. Stinger, every 9 seconds, deal 5 damage and slow an item, lifesteal. Dang. I'm gonna take the Lost Crate, and then I'm gonna go Hog Wild, looking for 3 good slots here in the final board. I am gonna skip Quixel and go to JJ instead, because there's almost no large items that JJ can sell me right now. Bronze tier large items for Vanessa. It's just Crow's Nest, I think. So that means JJ is the same as Quixel, except I can roll JJ for 2 gold instead of 4.
A friend. I mean, a customer.
I mean, honestly, having Seaweed and Barrel does set me up for defense.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
Yeah, and then I just need my final item on board to be an aquatic item.
I get it. You're busy. Enjoy your purchase.
Ah, place to store the rest of the tyrant's gold.
Pip teaches bronze tier skills. Please give me a damage-related skill.
Just one perspective. Youth has its own wisdom.
Strength, your weapons, and plus 10 damage. I could roll looking for left-handed or right-handed, but I think just taking the 10 damage here is probably enough. I can't roll here and not hit anything. That would be the worst outcome.
You've learned all you can from me. See Argenta.
Faustenberger! Oh, that's such a cool name!
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble with nobodies. My fight is.
Oh, just imagine being in a magical academy and someone's like, this is Professor Lord Faustenberger. Oh. Oh. Yo says I often start out like that, then pivot to something better, often around day 4 to 6 where silver items are readily available. Gotcha. My enemy's got good healing, but because I also have good shielding, I'll be winning this fight. A professor and a lord? Sounds like nepotism. Oh, wait until I tell you they're Esquire as well. The 7th. No, none of this piddly the 3rd bullshit. The 7th. To this person, the landed gentry look like nomads. Quixel's back. With my board state at the moment, I think I push the advantage for getting income right now. Because I don't think I really have much I can hit in Quixel, and she's also expensive, and I also don't have that much money. Jonkmaster 10 says, coward, I am 10th in the lineage of masters of Jonk. Where is Jonk? It's what, like 17 clicks from the eastern border of province? Jungle Ruins? Do I get experience? Go for another fight, then try and define myself after that? Or go to JJ? Giant Mosquito for the possibility of getting either haste on a weapon at the very start of the fight from Rush, or the Proboscis. There's also Borea for admittedly quite low damage scaling, unfortunately, and then Rogue Scrapper for the different golden experience. I mean, going to Giant Mosquito does give me the possibility of hitting Proboscis and possibility of actually setting up a full pivot for the builds at some point in the future. It would give me a payoff for slow, which I don't yet have. It's 2 gold, 1 experience differential. I like Scrapper's slow skill. Had it a couple times. Yeah, Rust is really good, especially now that you can like reliably get it. Not reliably, but more reliably than when it couldn't drop. Come on, Proboscis. Failing Proboscis, I would like the skill Rush. Come on, Proboscis.
It's over already. We barely got our flags
Ooh.
up.
Skill Rush. We take that. At the start of each fight, haste a weapon 3 seconds.
Another empty chest. Waiting
Bronze tier
to be
aquatic
used.
item from going fishing, or a bronze tier item in general. Bronze tier aquatic item is nice because it scales the healing of seaweed, and it's slightly more likely than a general item to be a non-weapon item as well. Life Preserver! Oh my god! My survivability just went up insanely. Every 6 seconds, shield 10. Also, give 5 additional healing to the seaweed. Also, the first time you would die each fight, heal 200. Rush right now is 3 katana hits, so that's pretty damn good. Yeah, especially if I can find a way to give this more haste after the fact, then it's hasted from the very start of combat and onwards, which is really important. Mountain Pass, if I can get a fight, this is so good for us. Get on! Free Road Scrapper! Big gaming. Easy win.
I know, Eastern skies. Waste of gun.
Medkit, but at least it sells for 4. Just gonna very quickly make sure there's no announcement being typed in their Discord at the moment. No. Okay. It's also 20 additional healing for the seaweed by base. Definitely going to be put on the seaweed. So that was a fight in a previous space, so I can get 1 experience here, 1 experience. I can't level up before I take the next enemy. I'm probably better served looking for aquatic upgrades here, specifically the Life Preserver or Seaweed. If I could find Pearl and replace Seashell, I would do that. Game really wants you to go aquatic. Yeah, it does.
Yay, it's my favorite air breather.
I mean, if you're going to do me the solid of turning up that early, I'm not going to turn you down. I will take Cove as an economic pick here because I have 2 items that I can sell, so Cove is already selling for only -1 value. And if I ever buy and sell more items, I can use those as well.
This belonged to a great sea king. I mean, probably.
We double the healing scaling of the Seaweed. We also double the shielding of the Life Preserver, but now it will heal us back to full HP.
Good as new.
I could roll here, but I think rolling and then looking for an item is too expensive now. I don't need to sell the Stinger just yet. It doesn't make any difference right now. Yeah, rolling, like, the only thing I could find that I really want right now is probably Pearl. Okay. So our big problem right now is we don't do damage. Like, if the enemy has any reasonable shield generation, I'm not going to damage them. I almost wonder if it's better for me to just run Cove. So the reason to run Cove instead is because it's an aquatic item that resolves every 3 seconds, rather than Katana and Seashell. Katana does nothing to buff the barrel or the seaweed. So the idea here would just be that I'm going to survive the fight much longer than they will. I pivot out of damage because I don't do enough of it to actually take out an enemy, and into just faster aquatic triggers. What do you think about that, Yaya? 18 damage every 2 seconds, or faster scaling for seaweed and barrel, presuming... Yeah.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Outwit, outlive, outplay, outstrategize, outblast. Yeah, this was definitely better. I mean, ultimately, this is actually quite generous to my enemy because I'm giving them a lot of water cooler charges. Tragedy says I'm back. Had a 40-minute call. What have I missed? Start of a Vanessa run. I'm trying to learn how to play this character so that they don't have my lowest win rate by far. We already had an additional health in Life Preserver as well. They don't actually fight this battle, though. That's right, of course. It's just a ghost of theirs. Aerodrome? Travel almost anywhere? I mean, if I could go almost anywhere, I'd probably want to go to a place that has non-weapons for the sake of the barrel.
Make deals.
Oh, wow, we got right there. Catfish. When this gains haste, it gains +2 poison for the fight. That's a win strat. You can definitely get Catfish and buff Catfish appropriately and win that way. I wonder if I should take it as a 4 gold investment in a win con, especially right now when I don't have one.
I'm so glad we could share this.
I don't care about fishing net or coral armor, especially when both of them are bronze tier. Interesting. Turtle shell. Every 6 seconds, shield 25. Your shield items gain 10 shield for the fight. When you use another non-weapon, charge this 1 second.
You are enough, friend. But I'm glad you bought this.
I could upgrade Seashell? I will need to field an additional thing in just a second. And small aquatic triggers are the kinds of thing I'm interested in. I have bad news about what build we're building. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is a weapon build, isn't it? Isn't it?
All guided me to what you needed.
I honestly kind of want to get rid of the katana right now in order to pick up the powder flask for the possibility of hitting a energy potion from... It's today, right? Today's Boiler and Brawler? Maybe it's tomorrow. I think that's probably a lot better than keeping the katana, if I'm honest with you.
I can feel our energies resonate.
Upgrade a bronze tier item. If I upgraded barrel, pretty much no one is killing me for a very long time. It just comes down to, do they have more poison than me, basically? And some enemies may be able to say yes to that. Cove doesn't want the upgrade. The Cove doesn't get additional, like, when it upgrades to the point that when you sell an item, it gets additional value, that's kind of worth it. But up until then, I don't really want to.
Haha. Now this will inspire the crew.
Kev's Armory. Fielding the Powder Flask because it's still scaling for Barrel and Turtle Shell. Eating Contest is HB as well. I mean, I can't even afford anything from Kev's Armory. It's HB as well as some additional scaling for the Cove. So it's got some value too. Scout Trooper, Rogue Scrapper, Tempest Flame Dance. I'm just going to go for the maximum impact, maximum income, maximum money here. So realistically, what we want on this board now is Haste and Pearl. Pearl saying when you use an aquatic item, this charges 1 second, it has a 4-second cooldown, and it shields you. So it would scale with the turtle shell, and also it would activate from the turtle shell, and it would also activate the turtle shell in turn. Really big play! We don't really have the damage handled yet, which means that poison builds beat us, because we are very slow. Weak point detector. Every 6 seconds, your weapons gain 6 damage per fight, and when you slow, you charge at 2 seconds. Isla sells weapons, not especially interested in those. Gumball machine, get gumballs. I could get gumballs and invest them into my Cove. That's admittedly quite expensive for not doing much to my board state right now, because the damage ones don't work, the shield ones are okay, the crit ones are good, admittedly, and max HP is like, whatever. It's a good way to get a bunch more value into the Cove and then sell the Cove later. How long do I need to hold Cove for? Not that long. I'm going and getting gumballs. The damage ones are certainly the worst, unfortunately. Please don't give me a bunch of red gumballs. Okay, we only got 3. It could be worse. Artisan Dunes. I could use that for 2 additional poison on the catfish, and admittedly right now, that is huge. I have to sell the Cove to afford it. But 2 additional poison on my only damage item right now, I think is definitely worth it. Crit Hunter.
Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
That's a lot of damage. I'm very, very glad to have a very defensive board here. Let's see if it's enough. They've also got damage scaling on their board. I didn't like selling the Cove there, really? Not for the additional catfish? I can see that as an economic play, it has a little longer it could be in the board for. Could have just gotten 1 poison instead. That's fair, especially if I don't end up running catfish long term. I often do think of that event as 2 poison or 0 poison, or 2 burn or 0 burn, and yeah, I see that. I probably could have gotten away without that.
Place to store the rest.
Argenta. Why don't you offer me a silver tier skill that has some future in it? It would be hilarious if Argenta immediately offered me tempering. When you use a weapon, give it 3 damage, I think, at silver tier. 3 damage for the rest of the fight. Creeping Chill, the first time you slow each fight, freeze an item 3 seconds. Chemical Fire, 2 burn, 2 poison, and Heavy Firepower. If you have 4 or fewer items in play, your weapons have 2 additional damage. I think I would roll here. I don't think I would just accept Chemical Fire as my pickup. Tiny Dancer. There's also Improvise Heal. When you crit, your heal items gain 10 heal for the fight. There's Poisonous Opener. First time you use a large item each fight, poison 10. And then Tiny Dancer. If you have at least 7 items in play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bing, 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 bing. Your items have their cooldowns reduced by 5%. Sick. Especially when my items are triggering and scaling off one another. Sick. Please give me another fight. It's time to punch. Oh, what? You couldn't be a mimic? Incredibly poor result there. The docks, and they won't even let me work down at the docks with the fishing net. What? Because I should be in the ocean to do that? Pff, get out of here. Curio sells bronze tier neutral items. Almost none of them appeal to me at this point. I'm going to go to the docks and work, and I suspect I worked for a shield item here. Duct tape would be a sick hit, and so would Pearl. Tool. Oh, Tool could be Captain's Wheel. Tool could be Astrolabe. Captain's Wheel especially would be really good here. Gives us the ability to specifically direct haste at the catfish, as well as get haste on our board, which is nice. Yeah, give me the Captain's Wheel. All right, it's a hatchet. Hiya, Carapace. Boiler Room Brawler. As I live and breathe. There is also the retiree. The retiree does have Bushel. Bushel would be pretty funny in this run, admittedly. But I think it's Boiler Room Brawler. The possibility that we could get shield triggers on haste and the possibility that we could get the potion are just overwhelming in in value. Give me the potion! Haste your items every 4 seconds. It only has 1 ammo. I can reload it every 4 seconds with the powder flask. Perma haste on the board! Magma Core has a place sometimes. Can be found in Curio. I've only ever run that when I have like an errant burn freezes skill. And nothing else to put on board. Like, it's never a primary choice for me. It's interesting to see other people's styles. Blunderbuss! Ah, yeah, I almost never see that. Sharpening Stone. When you sell this, your leftmost weapon gains 5 additional damage. Yikes. I could take the Lost Crate for the level up right now. I could go to Andy looking for possible... I mean, realistically, we go to Andy looking for... looking for... Pearl or Jellyfish? 2 income. On day 4, I might actually take 2 income. But I'm already flush with money right now. Money's not my problem. The hits in Andy are just too narrow. The Ness's Amulet, I guess. Yeah, right. It's income. JJ sells items, or I could go to Aerodrome looking for a more specific area where items are sold. Let's check out JJ. I don't need to upgrade the powder flask. Any item that I want to put next to the powder flask doesn't care if it's upgraded, but the Illuso Ray. That's a slow trigger for every friend it's adjacent to. It's also an aquatic item and a non-weapon item. So it will scale the barrel and the seaweed faster than the powder flask would. It's also powder keg. Deal damage equal to 30% of your enemy's max HP and destroy this when you burn. Charge at 2 seconds. No thank you, I'll roll. Our damage just went significantly up. We need jellyfish on board, because jellyfish says when you use an adjacent aquatic item, this gains haste for 1 second. So off of the turtle shell and Illuso Ray, our two other fastest aquatic items on boards, Illuso Ray also needs to be between two friends, hence the positioning. They will charge the pufferfish as fast as possible. Pufferfish gets, when you haste, charge this 2 seconds. We still have 7 items on board. I don't think I can replace anything with the Life Preserver at this point. Catfish is good when it gains haste, but otherwise it's just a very slow trigger on this board. So if I have other sources of haste that actually happen significantly faster, Catfish becomes one of my worst board items, and I'm only going to spawn 1 item at the end of the day, so I don't have to worry about anything else. Wow, Ray Skull and Pufferfish really be doing the same thing. Now I have to do this. Now I have to do this. Get a silver tier weapon. No, thank you. Get a silver tier loot item. That could be some poison. Admittedly, that could also be blood experience. Silver item. Give me a silver item. Life Preserver's never going back on board, and I want to only sell 1 item before I get the Cove. This fishing net now gives us 2 gold at the start of each day. 1 from the Cove, 1 for itself. I believe I have all of my items set up in their appropriate adjacencies. Let's go, Weldy. Free Cove's so nice. Yeah. Silver tier large item. And it's an economic gain item. Like, incredible. Okay, they don't have damage scaling on board outside of critting with the improvised weaponry, which is not going to be incredibly quick. They've got some shield scaling courtesy of barrel. We've got significantly more because we have more non-weapon items on field. And thankfully, despite the fact that they are going to be able to shield, we are poisoning them under the shield. With their lifesteal from rifle, we're probably not going to kill them. Just manually with our poison stuff. But we outshield them as well. Yo-Yo says, at this point I like checking shops that have enchants to see if I can find anything busted to pivot to. I'll keep it in mind. Yeah, the sandstorm is ultimately what took them there. Poison just wasn't fast enough. Just need a pearl now? I mean, if I want to go with that version of the board forever, sure. We'll see. Let's also have a look at our item activations. Pufferfish was the most item activation, but it was slightly more than Illuso Ray, which means Illuso Ray is still a really good trigger next to the jellyfish. And then Turtle Shell was also. So yes, positioning is correct. I'll get rid of that piranha. Going to Cult looking for ammo items right now seems like a bad idea. I have the ability to reload them, but there's almost no ammo item that wants to go on this board. That I can think of, at least. If I go to the docks, I guess I'm looking for a tool or a shield. I'm going to go for a shield so that I can possibly get pearl or duct tape. Gumball machine. I mean, I sell the gumballs for some of the value back from Cove. It's going to cost us a lot of money. To get basically crit chance on this board is the main thing I'd care about from it. I'm going to get rid of this 5 damage. Because I'm going to need space for the gumball machine as well as whatever it spawns. And I want to hold on to the powder flask and the catfish and the cove and the fishing net. I'm eventually going to have to make a decision at the end of the day between the fishing net and the gumballs. Alright, I'm getting rid of the fishing net now then. Kev's Armory, health toughness and shield related items. I got to admit, you have exactly the items I care about right now. Pearl, barrel, turtle shell. Probably not submarine.
Master craftsman. Me? Try my best.
Shielded Captain's Wheel. Haste adjacent items for 1 second. Shield 20. If you have a vehicle or large item, reduce this item's cooldown by 50%. Now, here's a fun fact for you. This doesn't care if the item's in the inventory. Don't believe me? I'll prove it. Shielded Captain's Wheel, 2-second cooldown. I have no vehicles and no large items on field. When I go into the battle, it will still have a 2-second cooldown. I think Barrel might be out now. Because the turtle shell is scaling the additional shielding on the captain's wheel. I don't know if Barrel's out yet. I guess I have much slower scaling on Seaweed. And yeah, I guess all of this does get a lot slower. Yeah, and we'll get our 5% cooldown reduction back. That's a good point, Yo-Yo. That seems a little busted. Just a touch.
Don't have scales? I can forge some for you.
I keep looking at Vanessa's toolkit, and I just don't see enough damage support for getting Submarine to do enough damage to really be worth running. I just don't see it. Then there's Life Preserver. I do still care about Pearl. Pearl would be a good replacement for... I actually don't know what Pearl would be a replacement for. I guess Illuso Ray. And then Jellyfish and Pearl would go over the other side so that Jellyfish sees a bunch of haste triggers still.
You don't rush things, do ya? I like that.
Hey, see? That's like a patience line. I like that. When does Cove upgrade its shield value? When it's... Okay, it's diamond tier is when it upgrades the amount that it sells for. Shielded bayonet when you use the weapon left of this, sure. I'm going to get rid of the seashell. I am going to buy the pearl. I am going to field the pearl there and then reorganize my board. I think pufferfish is going to be the fastest triggering on this board and then pearl, so I think jellyfish does want to go between those two to see the most upgrades. I don't think we upgrade Cove. Yeah, no. We only upgrade Cove if we intend to go to diamond tier here with it and then field it, or field it at some point. Diamond tier for the economic play, fielding it at some point. Diamond tier, like, that requires that I invest 12 in it and 24 in it and then still sell after it 36 more items in order to break even. So yeah, it's not the Cove.
Oh, the best armor is made with love and patience.
Illuso Ray is a lot of triggers, which is hard to turn down here, but I think I've got to get rid of the barrel now. Sell Cove, buy Cove, get some cash for now. No. I sell it for 12 and then I buy it for 12. Or 13. Also, I will want to I do want to keep the Cove forever because it's giving me the Shielded Captain's Wheel 1.9 second cooldown. Sometimes you have a structured Cove, and sometimes you need gold now. How are you gonna secure the future for my daughter? Gold! A Curvian Rocket Trooper. Oh, some rocket boots? I like rocket boots. That said, Gorgon Noble does have poison skills as well. Really hard to turn that down. Not only poison skills, but when you poison freeze, as well as poison number increases. It's so much. Call 1-800, this is a scam! Right now! Is Cloak exclusively weapons, or is it anything? It's not exclusively weapons. Interestingly, Cloak scales the damage of an item if it's a weapon. But if it's not a weapon, it still hastens it.
How would you like to work for us?
Not at all, but how would you like to give me a good item? Toxic Clockwork Blades. When you sell this, reduce your item's cooldown by 2%. Sure. We'll do that in a second. Argenta wants to upgrade an item for us. Okay, before Argenta does that, I need to turn off the shielded captain's wheel. If it's in my inventory, it's off. Good. I also need to turn off Tiny Dancer. Because I want my cooldowns to be as high as possible. I know someone's been telling me the commutative doesn't matter, but I've also seen other people say that it really does matter, so I'm just going to do this as much as I can. So now I've got 5 items on field. None of them have any cooldown reduction. When I sell Toxic Clockwork Blades, it's going to provide 2% cooldown reduction to all items. Okay, yeah, Junkmaster is currently mentioning in chat as well. Including the 4-second countdown of Shielded Captain's Wheel. I saw someone back this up with numbers, which is why I'm doing this now. So I've invalidated all of their cooldown reductions. I don't have Tiny Dancer active, and I don't have Shielded Captain's Wheel active. I sell the Toxic Clockwork Blades. and then it breaks the game. That's a fun little tech for you. If you don't want to play the game, if you want the game to crash on you, you can do that at any time, free of charge. Okay, never mind. It doesn't affect the items in the inventory. So I completely screwed that up. I tried to be smart, and instead I dumbed. Oops. That's what you get for trying. That's so weird, because Feather does affect those. Exactly why I thought it was going to work that way, alas. Upgrade a silver or lower tier item. Admittedly, I think upgrading Turtle Shell is like really important to our defense. Tina sells non-weapon items. I buy those. Catfish. When this gains haste, it gains 3 poison for the fight now. There's also Rowboat, which is a funny joke. And there's a fishing rod if I wanted to go back to an economic game. I'll be rolling away from those. Sextant. When you crit, haste an item for a second. Adjacent items have additional crit chance. There's holsters and coral armor. I'll be leaving this one as well. The lesson is never try. Oh, Mount Pass. Sell the red gumball for 1 gold on the cove. Fishing rod would be if you want to go pearl fishing for the 4 pearl infinite. I don't want to go pearl fishing for a 4 pearl infinite. But I do want to go to the zookeeper so that every time I use a friend, I poison the enemy. That sounds fun to me. Would there have been an argument for holsters for a faster start? I don't think so, actually. So holsters at silver tier gives everything 1 second of haste at the start of the fight. So I would replace a small item for it in order to keep my tiny dancer. So it would be hasting 3 small items, which means pufferfish immediately triggers, right? It gets a pufferfish to trigger, and then it gets another haste triggered for jellyfish. So pufferfish gets pretty quick. That would also trigger pearl and turtle shell a little bit faster. The only problem is I have to either give up my best healing item, my only healing item, my best poison item, because catfish scales its poison, one of my best haste accelerators on board in order to put haste on board. That would seem less valuable, or one of our best tools. I don't think it can make space there. I'm definitely seeing the argument more now that I'm trying to make it, though. I still think I wouldn't do it, but I'm much closer to agreeing than at any point in my past. Oh, time to party. It's time to party, dudes! Like, it's 1999! Oh boy. Thankfully, I have additional shield scaling here because the enemy is going to be scaling up their shield and then dealing damage to me for the size of their shield. And I just need to out-shield that while poisoning them. We're doing pretty good so far, but if that crits me at any point, it would kill me. Alright, we good. No crit chance on their field. That's a fun board. I like that board. Let's just go look at that. That's a fun, quite simple, but enjoyable board. The Armored Core is giving additional shielding to the force field every time it activates. The force field, when it goes off, shields for that amount and then deals damage. On the left-hand side, they've got Brick Body for additional shielding, obviously, between First Aiden and Armadillo. Armadillo triggering faster for all of the shields on board. And they've even got Sharp Corners. When you shield, your weapons gain additional damage to the fight. That's a fun build. It's too fair of a build to work. It waits for cooldowns to occur. Oh my god. Y'all, this isn't me, right? The stream is still up, so this has to be them. Is that a different shop to what I was offered before? Or was I not offered a shop and I was just like waiting to leave the battle? Okay, I need 5 spaces on my board. Illusoray probably never goes back on board here. Powder Flask still could totally make it back on board. Especially when we get up to days 10, I'm more likely to even find the energy potion. Sharpening Zone would be nice for a weapon, but I don't think essential for a weapon. I wonder if it's time for me to just sell the Gumball Machine. It's taking too much space in my inventory. Especially when I need to go eat chocolate. All right, Nightshade. Day 6 Nightshade. What do you got for me?
Weapons are loud and messy. Poison is elegant.
Unfortunately, none of these are good carriers of poison. There is a toxic barrel, which is fun, but its poison doesn't scale at all, so it's nothing. It's basically nothing. I mean, I'd take this early if I didn't have poison already on board. Toxic Pop Snappers, burn and poison in the same item. Admittedly, if I had that, like, it's a single item. Toxic Grenade is cool. Really? We'll talk about that in a second. If I had Toxic Pop Snappers, it means I only need 1 slot on board to give 2 multicast to the Weatherglass if I field Weatherglass in this field. And Weatherglass would be pretty good, admittedly, because, like, Turtle Shell says when you use another non-weapon item. Toxic Grenade is cool, says Yaya. Sell me on Toxic Grenade. Not saying it goes in this build, but a 16-second poison on a 4-second cooldown with built-in crit is fun. Okay, I see that. It's a surprisingly large amount of poison for it to be carrying, and if it's going to crit with it, that could be cool. Definitely significantly worse than the ways I have to apply poison myself. I think I buy Toxic Pop Snappers for the possibility of the full full Weatherglass pivot later on. Because being able to have 2 of my slots, like, just joined together. With Powder Horn from your backpack, it's not bad. The Toxic Grenade. It would require I take 2 items off this field, and all of these items work together right now, right? Like, Turtle Shell triggers off of all non-weapon item usage, so all of my non-weapons make it trigger faster. Pufferfish triggers off of all my haste charges. Jellyfish gets haste charges from adjacencies. Pearl charges off of aquatic items. So all of these, like, including, like, Seaweed for the additional healing as well, all of these synergize with one another, and taking 2 of them off board in order to put 2 items on board that don't really, like, yes, it's a non-weapon item for the sake of Turtle Shell, significantly slows down the rest of the things. I think all I do here is take the Toxic Pop Snappers for a possible pivot later on. Or just roll, right? Those are the 2 options. I think taking it is a good idea, because when I roll here, I'm pretty likely to see Weatherglass.
Try not to breathe when you use that.
Toxic Trebuchet. When you use another weapon or haste, charge this 2 seconds. There's also Toxic Silencer. When you use the weapon to the left of this, poison 1. Oh boy, a jellyfish upgrade. Admittedly, jellyfish doesn't care about being upgraded. It doesn't actually care about being upgraded. Pivot time? Into the Toxic Trebuchet? So, Toxic Trebuchet, or rather Trebuchet in general, used to trigger the Captain's Wheel, but it doesn't anymore. The Captain's Wheel just says, if you have a vehicle or a large item, reduce this item's cooldown by 50%, rather than what it used to say, which is, if you use a large item or a vehicle, charge this 2 seconds. When it charged 2 seconds instead, it was really good with the Toxic Trebuchet, or the Trebuchet in general. Mozzie skill immediately hastes the Treb. That is fun. That is true. Can we buy both Treb and Silencer? 24 for... Yeah, we could. We'd be selling the Cove. Are we seriously looking at this? To pivot away from what I'm currently doing to Toxic Trebuchet? So I think part of my problem with playing Vanessa, I think part of what I don't understand as this character is I would look at my current board state and go, yep, this is good, and I would pretty much lock it in. We have instant haste for a weapon, and there's so many more skills that work with weapons. So I wouldn't field it yet. I'd just take both of these and then look towards the possible future. Because it's not more powerful than my board right now. I feel like it has a lot more potential than your board right now. It's also a burn and a poison item, so there's a world where we have this and Weatherglass. So that's only 5 slots on board, this and Weatherglass. Where does this board go by day 8+? Hopefully to 10 wins, and then I don't have to change a thing. You know what? Why have I been playing an economic game if I'm not gonna flex my economic advantage here? I'll even take the jellyfish. I mean, look, I'm not saying we can. Trash Golem has a rainbow potion, which could be fun. But if I can beat Infernal, if I can beat Infernal, and I do have healing, I do have shielding, I have shield scaling. If I can beat Infernal, then I can get the Greatsword. And if I have the Greatsword, I can speed it up with the Captain's Wheel, and I can give it a silencer neck to it. Our main problem fighting Infernal is that he really needs to go down quick, and we really don't make our enemies die quickly. Unfortunately, it takes a while for the poison to really build up, but thankfully, my shield is scaling very well. Oh boy. Alright. Oh boy! We were one shield tick away from, one burn tick away from dying, and we got them. Ow. Bugger. Cinders, when you sell this, your leftmost item gets +4 burn. Thanks, buddy. Not really what I said for. C4 teaches ammo skills, Vermeer teaches crit skills, Orlan teaches gold skills. 4 burn for Trap is good. Yeah, no, the Trap is happy about it, but like, it's not the Fiery Greatsword. The Fiery Greatsword was definitely the hit there, right? Like, we're all pretty certain the Fiery Greatsword would have been the best, right? I guess I needed to find ways to give it damage, but it would have had haste immediately from the start of the battle. It would have had silencer. It would have had the shield of Captain's. We got the bonus XP and gold from that being a difficult fight. That is admittedly good. Olin, you teach gold tier skills. Why don't you teach me a good one? Yeah, thought about teaching me a good gold tier skill.
I'm not a warrior. I've lived a long time.
Okay. Venomous Blade. The first 4 times use a weapon each fight. Charge a poison item 1 second. No. Toxin Ejector. At the start of each fight, haste 2 poison items for 2 seconds. Admittedly sick. Building Crescendo. When you use an item, your items gain 10% crit chance for the fight. Your items start with 100% less crit chance. They are going to get to 100% crit chance very, very quickly, which will double all of my damage and all of my shielding and all of my healing. And also, it turns access on for all when you crit X skills.
Soon I think you will be ready for a dearest.
Also, I will just note, it's better for a possible trebuchet pivot. I guess I don't need to sell cinders yet. I just need to think about it. I want gumballs. Oh no, I don't have the cove anymore. I don't want gumballs anymore. Building Crescendo is still so broken even with the 100% nerf. Agreed. 100% agreed. As soon as I saw that nerf for it, I was like, oh, so it's still good? Okay, cool. The fundamental problem with it is that it is very, very, very... It is... Bar, like, extreme extenuating circumstances, it is by far the most consistent way to get to 100% crit, the fastest in almost all fights for almost all builds. I'm not going to say for all builds. I'm not going to say for all fights. I think we econ for a bit and take some free options. I mean, a small shield item's not bad, especially when Pearl's in the pool. 10% part needs to be reduced, maybe to 1%. I think maybe to 5%, while keeping it at negative. So it'll take twice as long to get there. So that it's only a build that's really going off that can really use it. Make it diamond exclusive and it's fine. Admittedly, diamond exclusive and it's fine would also work. Ask and ye shall receive. Kev's Armory. Health, toughness, and shield related items. Possibility of upgrading my captain's wheel or turtle shell or pearl. Doc's looking for power drill. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's actually sick as hell. I mean, it can't be, right? But it would be good. I think we use Pearl to get power drill. I think it's Pearl to get power drill. The additional second of haste from shielded captain's wheel, does that really make a difference? Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It hugely... Oh, no, but it's not actually a shield item. Lol. What's the difference between gold and diamond crescendo? Diamond crescendo gets an additional 5% crit chance. So when you use an item, your items gain 15% crit chance. Jonket is 15, not 20. Kev's Armory for the upgrade to Turtle Shell still really matters.
You know we're on an important mission,
But it's
right?
also day 6.
Overthrowing
There's like a
tyrants,
10% chance of even
liberation, and
finding
such.
gold items. Alright, I'm gonna go to the docks. Show me a tool. Goggles. When this gains haste, your items gain 4% crit chance for the fight. Or I could just use Building Crescendo and completely invalidate almost all items that give me crit chance. Yeah, I could just do one or the other. Don't need to do anything with this board state before I go. Vodan Bogvod. Is that a reference to Witcher 1? Or I guess the mythology that's being referenced by Witcher 1?
But I've seen my share of storms.
Because they had the Swamp Vordia, right? Is there a way to turn off specifically the voice lines? Good lord. You mean just the, like, impatience ones? Hopefully. I love the voice acting in this game. I don't know if I'm just, like, biased. I didn't do any of it, but I have done that as a job before. I think it's a really cool job. Oh my god. Okay, we're full crit healing, they're full crit healing. We're doing the same thing to one another. They just have perma-slow, so they win. Courtesy of dock lines. That's really frustrating. Water wheels, when you use an item, charge this 2 seconds. And they just had pufferfish and pearl on either side of it, so full haste to the entire board very easily. Good replacement for shielded captain's wheel if we found it. Level 9? Let's take a silver tier item. Illuso Ray. I don't have anything spawning on end of day. No, I don't. Cool. Andy sells small items. I can go look at Andy's items.
If you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
It's cheap to look and cheap to reroll as well. No need to disturb any of those items on your board, buddy. And I'll let you keep those as well. Cannonball, 2 max ammo to an adjacency. Not relevant here at all.
Oh, I understand. Class isn't for everyone.
I mean, I'm going to go to Kev's Armory and hope that I can find the pearl or the turtle shell upgrade here. Or something shielded.
Oh, a customer.
I don't think shielded ambergris is what I was looking for. Submarine. No thank you. I can crit on you, but I can't scale your damage at all. You won't cause haste triggers or anything like that either. Welcome back, Cove. Shielded seashell. They really want me to run a seashell, don't they? Unfortunately, if I know anything about Vanessa, it's that she sells seashells. Down on the docks. Which I guess you could call adjacent to the seashore. Unfortunate couple of shops. That's like a full half day that's passed and I've done nothing. I can definitely beat Radiant Corsair. That's a lot of gold, a lot of experience. Cosmic Rock would be nice for the cooldown reduction. And also, oh, that's fun. Cosmic Rock has the skill, when you crit, haste an item. So that means that building Crescendo would actually build up towards a huge amount of haste charges coming out for the pufferfish. But is that better than fighting the Radiant Corsair? Getting, like, that's one item they could give me that would give me that. But it's 3 experience difference to fight the Radiant Corsair instead. 5 additional gold. The Radiant Corsair can only drop items that sell well. Corsair can now drop the burn crit skill. It can, but hopefully it wouldn't. It wouldn't do that to me, right? Oh my god, but Cosmic Rock, if we did have the crit chance... What are the Blue Budgie's other items? Irrelevant. Basically, it's just 6% cooldown reduction to the board, or the skill when you crit haste an item. Those are the only 2 that really matter. Oh my god, you can see my overlay right now, can't you?
Crimson Storm hasn't sat in the dock this long since my father built her.
How'd that happen? That wasn't working before. Anyway. Cosmic Wind. We can. Is that a mod or a part of the game? That's a mod. This is a mod that makes available public information just in the game, so I don't have to tab out. Now we know your secret. I've been using this for 40 games now.
crew's getting restless. They're loyal to me.
I gotta go for the Corsair.
He my pet. Come perch on my shoulder.
Missing on that crit haste skill would feel real bad. Yikes. What'd you spyglass? Oh, I guess it's spyglass the catfish. Yeah, my shield gain is still really, really good. My damage gets pretty good over the course of the fight.
My land folk.
Palooza Ray's not going back on board. Fire a katana every 2 seconds, deal damage, and then burn. Oh. We gotta think, folks. We gotta think. Okay, so we don't see any additional haste triggers on this field, right? So that feels like the Trebuchet's dead, at least for the moment. Especially because Makwood Bayou, enchantment item with a poison effect is here, and so is Seaweed. When you use an aquatic item, this gains 10 heal for the fight, and also, I believe the number is 4 poison. So for every aquatic item we use, we will scale the poison of the seaweed, and then the seaweed will deal it in giant poison damage to the enemy. Which actually means I only care about the speed of my aquatic items realistically going off. Which actually, funnily enough, would mean that I would probably change the catfish back for the Illuso Ray and put the Illuso Ray on a different side, but whatever. We can ignore that for the moment. Alternative is getting slow effects, so let's have a quick look at the enchant. This is why I still have to have Bazaar, because of looking at these. Turtle Shell. Turtle Shell would slow 2 items for 1 second. Pufferfish slows 1 item for 2 seconds. I'll tell you what the Seaweed would do, actually. So Seaweed, the Toxic enchant is Poison 3. When you use an aquatic item, this gains +1 poison for the fight. Fiery is Burn 4. When you use an aquatic item, this gains 2 burn for the fight. So it actually scales its burn faster with aquatic item usage.
We don't move soon. I'll lead the mutiny myself.
Do I want burn, or do I want just additional poison? Burn deals its damage twice as fast. So I actually think it's better to burn. What do we have in our inventory again? We have a Fiery Katana, Cinders, Toxic Pop Snapper, a Sharpening Stone, a Powdered Flask, a Toxic Silencer, and the Toxic Trebuchet. Apparently Catfish gains 4 burn per haste when fiery. Probably not stronger than Seaweed, but I find it interesting. Yeah, Catfish, unfortunately, will gain that when it is enchanted. Will Cinders help scale up a bit more at the start? It could, but I probably still end up saving Cinders for Toxic Trebuchet. Because, like, 2 activations of an aquatic item already get the additional 4 burn on Seaweed at that point. I think it's time for a Fiery Seaweed. When you use an aquatic item, this gains +2 burn for the fight. Middle sells medium items, Shielded Captain's Wheel, Turtle Shell, and Pufferfish upgrades would all be sick. I suppose I would look at a...
I'm pretty laid back.
Shock Ray. When you haste, this deals 10 additional damage for the fight. Admittedly, I think I already have my triggers sorted out. I don't think Shock Ray this... I mean, it does haste immediately itself at the start of the fight. Ember for the seaweed or no? I think I'm going to hold on to that for the possible pivot to Toxic Trebuchet later. I can definitely sell Fiery Katana. That's never going back on board. Dockline slows 2 items. I do like slowing items, but I don't think I want silver tiers of these. So there's the sniper rifle. 3 times more damage if it's your only weapon. It would get the additional 10 from strength. It will eventually crit. It would be my only weapon. It could get a silencer. It could get additional damage from a sharpening stone. I could just take that to start investing in a possible sniper rifle future. Because with Rush and building Crescendo, that sniper rifle could get pretty sick. We're so far away from sniper rifle, even with shielded Captain's Wheel. And Rush? I guess I do have to pretty much destroy my entire board for this. Crescendo's not what you want on sniper rifle. You want the first shot to hit. That's true. That's true.
See that mountain? That's Poe. He might have what you need.
Ooh, you know who might have what I need?
At least a grain of wisdom, since you have come to me.
Tiny Dancer. If you have at least 7 items in play, your items have their cooldowns reduced by, and now it's 10%. I'll take that upgrade to 10%. Absolutely.
When you are ready.
Resolution speed on my board is the only thing that matters to me right now. All right, Sushi 1579.
Go ahead. Underestimate.
Why don't you show me the weaknesses in my
It's
board?
more fun.
Yeah, you're gonna slow me, aren't you? Ooh, Toxic Flame. And a Toxic Monitor Lizard. They've got a lot of poison on that field. I'm very glad that I have heal coming out of my Fiery Seaweed, because I need it in order to stay alive right now. Got him. Absolutely got him. Let's have a look at our our item activations here. Yeah, everything's standing in the right adjacencies. Good to see, good to see, good to see. Well, it's put up or shut up time. B1 and B2 are here to upgrade one of our items. Or 2 of our items. All they ask me to do is get rid of every item I don't want upgraded. I don't think I'm going back to the Toxic Trebuchet. I don't think the I think I'd have to fish for the Silencer upgrade so that I can get the additional cooldown reduction. And then the Toxic Trebuchet would really want to also see a Water Wheel on field. All right, B1 and B2.
Take pride in our restorations.
Fiery Seaweed upgrade! Woo!
Previous owner was a cloud-top admiral.
I mean, admittedly, they chose 2 of the least impactful upgrades to... I mean, Fiery Seaweed was still a pretty good upgrade, to be fair. I'm still going max HP, and I'm still going for the maximum money in the max HP fight as well. Cosmic Rock. I mean, admittedly, Cosmic Rock is much more impactful than Bouncertron or Infernal Frigate for it now. Especially Infernal Frigate now that it has... I wanted that trap so bad, all we needed was a drill. Drill would have been lovely, but... unreliable to fish for. You know what, Cosmic Rock? You'll give it to me this time. I know you're gonna give me the Cosmic Win this time. You have to. It's right there. When you crit, haste an item for a second. Oh, God, I don't exist. Hopefully you see a new large item to hold on for Captain's Wheel. I totally forgot. I totally forgot about that. Thank you so much for the reminder. I absolutely need to do that. My God. How embarrassing. Cosmic Plumage. Every 6 seconds, your shield items gain 4 shield, and your weapons gain 4 damage of the fight. When you crit, you charge this 1 second. No, thank you. Old Zane. Skills unique to Vanessa. A lot of those are ammo related, and I don't care about them. A couple of them are aquatic related, specifically barnacle crusted. Your aquatic items have lower cooldown. That would be incredible. Is my entire board aquatic? My entire board is aquatic right now, so that could even be a 10% cooldown reduction to the entire board state. However, Professor Wriggle is here, and Professor Wriggle has really cool stuff like Sick Burn and Toxin Flame. Oceanic Rush is also, yes, in Old Zane. Pretty good there.
Sails down, anchors up. Just waiting for your command.
I think the best one is Professor Wriggle because of the possibility of getting Sick Burn. Wait, did Sick Burn? Oh, yeah, the first 5 times you poison each fight, charge a burn item 1 second. It's been changed. What is the overlay I'm seeing? This is Bazaar Tracker. So at the moment, this is showing me all of the skills that are available in each of these pools. Super useful.
I know the East.
I mean, Toxin Injector would also be a sick hit.
But can we get
Haste
moving?
poison items at the start of the fight. There is a crit poison. There is not a crit poison scaling skill? What do you mean? There is. Improvised poison. When you crit, your poison items gain +1 poison for the fight. Yes, there is.
I'm sorry. Cute. I'm a professor of the toxic arts.
Chemical Burn, Exposing Toxins, and Poison Opener are certainly some of the worst hits there. Yikes. Toxin Injector, at least. At the start of each fight, haste 2 poison item 2 seconds. Yay! This is basically like Oceanic Rush, but it only affects my poison items, which is pretty sick. And then there's also freezing. I'm going to take Toxin Injector. Getting 2 haste triggers at the start of the fight is really good.
It's Professor.
I can fight a monster? I love doing that. Unfortunately, this guy has a higher tier pufferfish than I have, so I can't get puffered here. Gibbon says, wait, isn't Chemical Burn amazing for your build? What am I missing? It's 2 poison for each of my poison items, and it's 2 burn for my burn item. The thing is, over the course of the fight, courtesy of Catfish scaling when it gets haste, and Fiery Seaweed scaling whenever I use an aquatic item, I really quickly invalidate those numbers. Those numbers mean almost nothing to me compared to just faster activations of all of the rest of my stuff. So because of that, what I really want is things that make things happen faster, make them happen faster at the start of the battle, or when one thing happens, another thing happens. And there were a lot of those available in the poison pool, as well as some poison scaling, which would have consistently triggered over the course of the fight. That could have even been better than just a static +2 to poison and a static +2 to burn. It's just not enough. So I guess what I'm hoping for from this fight is improved toxins, just +6 poison for my items. I'm not going to say it's incredible, but you know. It's better than their other items for us. Unless I can find a way to repeatedly slow and then use thick hide appropriately.
See that plank? Walk it.
Diamond tier jellyfish. I almost never see that. 5% health. I'm also about to level up. I could go to Curio for cooldown reduction. Honestly, Curio for cooldown reduction, as well as the possibility of getting rocket boots for the captain's wheel, as well as the possibility of finding a large item. Yeah, I gotta go to Curio.
Well, howdy, hero.
Unfortunately, none of these are a vehicle. Or a large item. Proboscis, when you slow, deal 4 damage. I'm probably never fielding Proboscis on this field. But I could see a world where I end up with specific skills and enchants later on and I actually end up using it. It's only a 2 gold investment to hold this in my inventory.
Warms my rusty circuits to see that find on.
Yay! We found some cooldown reduction as well as a large item. Boo, 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 boo. The captain's wheel is back down to a 1.8 second cooldown. Insect wing for cooldown reduction. Crit chance, not really relevant. Sure, additional poison.
Park to clean up the bazaar.
I think maybe Fiery Seaweed wants this most. It's a core damage dealer and it's a core healer, so it will stay on the board long term. Alright. Let's leave. Gold tier item, gold tier loot item. Let's go gold tier item, looking for cooldown reduction again, but I am happy to get experience. 2 experience?
Now that's a bargain.
Yes. Yes, please. See, this is the thing. I feel like I so often end up with a really, really stagnant Vanessa board where I'm like, I just need the appropriate skills to make this better. And it's like, yeah, sure, but it's still not as impactful as my opponents. Like a diamond tier armored core here with the force field and duct tape next to it. I can't remove much of their shielding, unfortunately, which means they will kill me. I mean, I'm technically bringing up my Vanessa average because I have more than 5 wins.
People first, profit 10.
Musket. When you burn, reload this 1 ammo. It does 400 damage every 5 seconds. That's just not fast enough. Bouldest is pretty cool. Do I still have my reload for it? I don't. I think I'd take it and try and find a way to reload it. It just wants to see haste triggers. Bouldest, every 8 seconds, deal 100 damage. When you haste, this gains 50 damage for the fight.
Happy to make a sale. Sad to say goodbye.
There's the final seaweed upgrade.
Now, if that doesn't work out for you, come back for a refund.
There's also a submarine. Submarine really doesn't make any sense here, though. Forger or look for a diamond tier item. There are a lot of diamond tier items that don't matter at all to me. Upgrading turtle shell is nice, but let's think about upgrading Arbalest first. So Arbalest. Yeah, it would get 75 damage from every haste trigger. I think my way out of this run to actually have, like, a positive trajectory again I think my way is Arbalest. I think it's Arbalest. I lose a lot of my activations, my aquatic and non-item activations on board, but the payoff for them is very slow at the moment, very low actually at the moment from pufferfish, although it is good for hasting other jellyfish and, you know, the pearl and the turtle shell as well. If I just had enough haste triggers going out, I think the ballista could kill him. The Arbalest could kill him. Also, it gets hasted at the very start of the fight. I just need to give it a couple of ammo. Realistically, +2 ammunition in that. That's enough. It'll probably need at least 2, if not 3 ammo. Yep. That's the next problem to solve. Ferrous Khan, you can't give it ammo. You could get a silencer from Ferrous Khan, though. And I can beat him. Death Knight Reaper, admittedly, has significantly more golden experience, and I want almost everything else except for Ferrous Khan. Khan could give it more CD and damage, admittedly, yeah. Maybe it is Ferrous Khan. I really want to go for just the golden experience, but I always want to do that. That's my weakness. That's one of my weaknesses, to be sure. So only 1 shot, 1 kill. The energy potion and the silencer would be good items here. That's 3 items versus Death Knight where I don't want anything.
Last
Oh no, you're gonna crit me, I'm gonna lose. Okay, 30% crit chance. They failed the first crit. And now I'm outside of crit kill territory.
You'll see me again.
Actually, what do we do if we get energy potion? We field it. Wah. Honestly, I think upgrading it an item right now is just committing to a losing build. I think I need to go look for gold tier skills and look for something like crits reload your weapons. Or we've got to look for crits reload your weapons.
I will not train you to kill. I will train you to live.
Okay, sick burn. The first 5 times you poison each fight, charge a burn item 1 tier. That's not gold tier? What? Are you sure? Parting shot's not it. Flashy reload is... Did it get changed to diamond tier? Oh, it did.
Good. All training
It used to be gold. It used to be gold. It got changed to diamond tier. Yep, I just remember when I was in the fight when I was looking at the fight with Hercurvi and Rocket Trooper, they had it at diamond tier. Well, the ability to reload has been heavily removed here. Depth charge. If you have exactly 1 weapon, it has +5 max ammo. We could get depth charge. What else? What else? What else? Alacrity would be good.
When I was your age,
I think that sick burn is surprisingly bad. Like, it gives additional charge to the fiery seaweed when I haven't yet built it up that much. It does it at the very start of the fight, so it's just a fast trigger for a very small amount of burn. Improvised burn will not scale it as fast as literally just using aquatic items. It contributes, but that's not my largest damage dealer, so it doesn't matter. In slow burn, I don't have slow triggers. I'm gonna roll here. Wait. Okay, outmaneuver looks a lot like depth charge, but it's not. Damn it. Those 5 times you slow each fight, ace the vehicle. Parting shot. When you use an item with ammo, give a 5% crit chance for the fight, and then toxic flame. When you burn with an item, poison 1. When you poison with an item, burn 2. We'll take toxic flame. That doubles the amount of like burn and poison triggers that are going out on the field, which is nice. We just need something that cares about them, which we don't have. Shrouded figure. You can't turn down experience, can you? Speaking of can't turn down experience, can you? Hey, I knew I was going to be fighting you. This power drill's going to go crazy. All we need is for, oh, what's the dig site called? Pip? I've never seen that guy give me 4 experience. Same, I think he's bugged. I think it's 2 at minimum and 3 at maximum. I think it was like, give them between 2 and 4, non-inclusive of 4. Like, Pearl's dig site. Yes. Mortal coil. Off of which to shuffle. Poison skills, slow skills, and Adira teaches diamond skills. Admittedly, retooled for double triggering the captain's wheel. Not bad. It's actually a surprising amount of shielding, courtesy of the turtle shell as well. We've got to check out Adira's diamond tier skills.
Prideful. I simply acknowledge the fact of my greatness.
Anytime you fall below half health each fight, your burn items have the cooldowns reduced by 50%. Admittedly, that does work on the fiery seaweed, which would then heal me faster, so that's actually kind of good. Venomous Fatality, you have regeneration equal to half the poison on your enemy. I don't get enough poison on the enemy for that to actually matter. Healthy Heart. First time you fall below half health each fight, heal for 30% and cleanse half your burn and poison. I've got a reroll. I am looking for something to cinch my build, not something for saving me. These are things that will help my build continue going, but I need to change it. Double down the first time you fall below half health each fight. Double the damage to your leftmost weapon. No. Glass cannon. Double both players' weapons damage. No. And Circle of Life. Your leftmost weapon has lifesteal. I guess. That's a setup for when I can field Arbalest. As soon as I can field Arbalest. Pied squared.
We're out to dethrone a king, not to squabble.
Let's go, buddy.
Nobodies.
Are you sure? Have you noticed I'm huge?
Oh, I have noticed you're huge. Good lord. That Obsidian Claw Crusher is going to do damage. Unfortunately, the enemy's also building up a spiky shield, which is going to do damage. They're setting up for a fort pivot from that fixer-upper. I have mad respect for the fort pivot. Unfortunately, my fiery seaweed's burn is not really going to save me. Thankfully, the turtle shell shielding and the critting on all of those as well is actually keeping us safe. Never mind, we win.
Myself and I still lost.
Circle of Drill will go great with the power drill, you find? Y'all are going to laugh your asses off when the power drill does turn up. I believe. I believe in the power drill. I mean, I'll look at middle, see if I can get an upgrade on any items I care about. Oh, Blunderbuss, when you burn, charge this 1 second. Admittedly, every time I poison, I burn. At Diamond tier, this charges 2 seconds when you burn? No, it's too speculative a pick when I still need to find a bunch of other stuff. Pistol Sword. When used on item with ammo, this deals 15 damage. We'd need to really increase its damage before that would be worthwhile. Burn and Shark Ray. No, thank you.
You leave it behind? Someone else finds?
That's Bazaar Tracker you'd be looking for. That is Overwolf. Bazaar Tracker. Batacade cares about your burn triggers. Unfortunately, it just doesn't do it. It doesn't do enough. with them. Kina, you sell no weapon items. Why don't you sell me a reload? Docklines admittedly is good. Disguise and Sextant. Disguise literally just to try and find a non-Vanessa item and then hoping that it's good enough. That's so narrow. But I can sell it for 4. All right, just show me an item.
Enough, friend. But I'm
It's weights.
glad you bought this.
Your weapons gain +5 damage, and your healing items get +10 heal. Probably not relevant. Sextant, when you crit, hasten item. That will cause pufferfish to go off very quick. But also, I have to take 2 items off board for it, which means I lose Tiny Dancer. So I lose 10% cooldown reduction to the entire board in order to get, after I've activated 20 items, a haste trigger for every item activated. I don't think that's enough for pufferfish to care about right now, honestly. Bold not to make space for a large item before buying it. You can roll large, and if you don't have the space, you get nothing instead. Whoops. Yeah, I guess I should have sold Proboscis then. I think I can buy and sell Sextant and just...
Resonating.
In Century rounds, when you use an adjacent item, burn 2 adjacent items have +1 ammo. So let's just think about it, right? Let's just think about it. And then incendiary rounds. Incendiary rounds has wild interaction with the blunderbuss. God, if only I collected it. Silliest way of getting +1 max ammo. It's very expensive for it, yeah. So our only aquatic items and non-weapon items on the board remain Turtle Shell, Shielded, and Pearl. So they will activate significantly slower, which means we have significantly less access to haste in this build. That said, every time I haste, I get 75 additional damage on Pearl. Jelly instead of Pearl? Oh, yeah, for seeing the haste triggers. Got it. Oh, gosh. It only having 1 adjacency of doubling the triggers found from Turtle Shell, I don't think that's worth it. I think faster activation so I get towards critting with every hit is better. Poison board is more versatile, I think. Maybe. No, jelly next to a wheel. That way? Oh, yeah, it sees a lot more haste triggers that way.
Use that for the good.
I'm gonna try this. Put Sextant by Jelly, it's aquatic. Yes, but the jellyfish says when you use an adjacent aquatic item and Sextant is never used. Yeah, Octopus has too much HP for me to beat with this version of the build, so I'm going to shuffle back to my old world. Thank you, Wob. You could probably win anyway. Octopus has no scaling. That's going to be what they fix about him. Specifically, the Cutlass's fire in 5 seconds and Octopus fires at 5.8. So they're probably going to give it some additional some additional damage scaling on weapon activation so that the octopus actually matters. Because right now it doesn't. Hyper focus. If you have only one medium item, reduce its cooldown by 30%. That's fun. Gold tier aquatic, gold tier loot, gold tier. Give me gold tier loot and give me gunpowder. Look, if you have to give me cooldown reduction, I'm not going to argue about it. I still want Water Wheel in this build, which makes large items from Midsworth pretty valuable for us.
All things in moderation. In life and business.
The Boulder. Every 20 seconds, deal damage equal to your enemy's max health. Alright, now hear me out. What if I took all of my poison damage off field, catfish and pufferfish go off, and I field the boulder? So the boulder immediately, right, it's got lifesteal, but it's got 3 seconds of haste at the start of the fight, and then the captain's wheel starts giving it haste after that, so it keeps its haste up. And by the time the boulder goes off, I probably have 200% crit chance, so the building crescendo just hits him in the face. Maybe it's time for the Bouldest pivot. I could even keep an incendiary round on board if I really want to. I've even got cooldown reduction here. I've never seen a boulder build. I'll show you the boldest build you've ever damn seen. I've never used this item before, by the way. I don't want to make it sound like I'm familiar or good. Shieldon's captain's wheel does need to be next to the boulder. Does want to be next to fiery seaweed as well for the additional healing consistently so that I can make sure that the boulder goes off. Realistically, I just want my triggers to activate as quickly as possible. So maybe it's actually on Pearl in that? But if they have good shield, don't you just lose? So if they have shield that gets them to double their max HP, then yes, I will lose. Jelly doesn't belong here anymore. Oh yeah, I don't care about haste triggers on this field. So I can get a second ammunition for the boulder if I want. Probably a better idea. Who else does the captain's wheel want to haste? I think we're out of poison and invest in an island. I mean, if I'm never fielding these again, I mean, I guess I keep jellyfish for the haste triggers possibility. What does Diamond Boulder do? It goes down to 16-second cooldown. This is the weirdest Vanessa run I've seen in a while. This is what all of my Vanessa runs are. They're all decision points like this. I feel like I'm going mad. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I'm gonna sell the feather for the cooldown reduction. Boulder's down to 18.8 seconds. Woo, 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 woo. I'm gonna sell pufferfish and catfish. We're officially out of that build. We did it. We made it out. I'm gonna get the tropical island and I will row.
Our master merchant makes a sale.
Silencer. Weapon to the left of this gets 20 additional damage. If you have exactly one weapon, reduces cooldown by 50%.
Happy to exploit you.
Do I give it a lower cooldown instead? Is that the game? 15-second cooldown? I think I need it to be able to hit twice right now is the thing. I almost feel like I can't. I feel like that's actually my board state right now. I feel like I need the boulder to still be able to It has lifesteal, yeah. I do keep the silencer. I'll sell proboscis. And silencer will go on board at some point, as soon as I have more ammunition for the boulder. Melma252, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Enjoy your emotes in chat, and welcome to the Republic. If they scale to 2 times max HP in time, won't they just sail past the second shot as well? Yes, they would. Probably. Most likely, I guess. Go away, screen, go away. It's got some bugs still. No, you're right. Position of the silence doesn't matter for the boulder. Admittedly, that is true, but at the same rate, does the boulder need to be in a different position? Freezer? I'm not gonna re-roll at Freezer. As soon as I saw Weatherglass, I was like, oh, I see Weatherglass? It's not. It's just Weatherglass. Use another poison, burn, slow, or freeze. SS +1 multicast for each. I do like those. I don't want it, though. I see wanted poster. No, thank you. Bye, Freezer.
Like the glacier, I will be here when you return.
All right, the boulder activates 11 seconds into the fight. Now, here's the problem. Here's the big problem. I don't crit necessarily on this boulder. I need to activate 20 items before the boulder goes off for it to definitely crit. And I don't think I do. If you replace Pearl or Seaweed, you can have incendiary rounds so you can have more ammo and a reduced cooldown. Here's a fun play. Boulder is currently 11 seconds. If I do that replacement, it goes down to 10.7. The Tiny Dancer comes into play. Oh my god, this actually does get a hyperfocus active for the shielded captains. That's actually kind of funny. It might actually be better then. You know what?
Go ahead, underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Seaweed next to the wheel? Whoops. Oh yeah, seaweed definitely next to the wheel. Whoops. Okay, so crit them. Oh my god, it didn't crit them. They had glass cannon. They doubled my damage. Oh my god. This is the boldest gaming I've ever done. JJ sells items, obviously looking for silencer still. Just find big guns. Oh my god, that'd be so good.
Ah, a friend. I mean, a customer.
I think that replaces incendiary rounds. I mean, is there anything else that I'm more happy to sell? I don't want to get rid of the Arbalest is the thing, but I think I should. Oh no, the 2 burn on our Boulder. Would you ever need more than 2 shots? That is true. Am I ever going to get to a point where I actually need more than 2 shots? I'm not sure if Arbalest is better or worse than the current builds. I mean, Arbalest would definitely want the Cannonball, right? So let's have a look at like a version of this build that has Cannonball on field instead. So it would go pretty much like this. Arbalests. 4-second on its cooldown. Jellyfish wants another haste adjacency. I guess I'm taking Seaweed off the board in that version of the builds, and it'd go like that. So we get down to Shielded Captain's Wheel, activating very commonly. Turtle Shell and Pearl will go off, so we will give crit chance to the Arbalest very early. And Arbalest Fire is much faster in the fight. Can we reload? We have no reload access. So it's just how much ammo I can get into it in the first place. Okay, but hear me out. Boulder is funny. That is true, though. Boulder is funny. Sextant for... Oh, right. Sextant would probably want to go on this board as well. For crits to cause additional haste triggers. So I guess means it would go there. But that significantly slows down the amount of triggers as well. It's just it speeds them up when I get to full crit chance. How often are you going to do a boulder run compared to Arbalest? Significantly less. Torpedo. When you use another aquatic or item with ammo, this gains 60 damage for the fight. If the item is large, reload 1 ammo. Oh, we can use the boulder to reload the torpedo. Anyway, goodbye.
Buy, don't buy, as long as we get to hang out.
Upgrading the captain's wheel would be nice, because I'm missing 0.2 seconds of haste constantly on the boulder. But admittedly, skills from leveling up are much more impact. Oh, I think I just missed out on a... Dang. I don't think I can get into the rest of the fight. What's the Silencer actually doing now? Silencer is currently giving 20% cooldown reduction to the Boulder. It says the weapon to the left of this has plus 20 damage. There's no weapon directly left of it. Unfortunate. But it says if you have exactly one weapon, reduce its cooldown by 20%. It doesn't care where it is. It just needs you to have one. And now we pick up Juggler. That would actually be insane. That said, Lord Arkin also has the battery. And battery would also be insane. Yeah, Boulder doesn't have crit chance by the first time it goes off. By the second time it goes off, it has 100% crit chance. Alchemist has retool. Wait, how? Hello. I sell Jellyfish. Jellyfish doesn't go on this board anymore. And if I sell Jellyfish, I no longer care about haste triggers, which means Arbalest and Turtle Shell are on the block as well. Wait, I can't use battery yet. Yeah, the haste is really important as well. I need an additional second to charge before I can use battery. Goodbye. The most possibly useful one here is that Rukon can give us all the way up to... Wait, you can't double the damage of my biggest weapons? I mean, it could give me depth charge still. Where's big guns? You kidding me? Rukon doesn't teach big guns. You are actually kidding me he can't teach big guns. It literally doubles the damage of weapons.
You know we're on an important mission, right? Overthrowing tyrants, liberation, and such?
Yeah. That's not important to me. The big guns of it all, though. Yeah, depth charge would replace the need for incendiary rounds. That's a reason specifically to fish for it. And because I'm not seeing big guns in their ability to give us stuff, which is harming my heart.
Good meet. I mean, good to meet you.
The first 4 times you use a non-weapon in each fight, charge a weapon 1 second. Admittedly, it's pretty hard to turn down mixed message here. That's a very fast boulder.
You will not die, will you?
Especially if I'm rolling just to look for the ammo skill. That's even harder to do. Jules Cafe and Guard Locker. I'm gonna go to Andy and look for a silencer possibility upgrade.
Is highly concentrated.
Clamora. Slow 4 items for 1 second. At the start of each fight, use this. Clamora is really good at getting things to start. I don't have anything that responds to slow triggers right now, but 4 triggers happening at the very start of the combat, it matters. It might not matter right now, but it can matter, and it will be insane when it does. Replace jelly with clam for the immediate mixed message. It's 1 immediate charge of mixed message, but then it's slower than jellyfish after that. Is it better? Maybe. I'm not certain on that. Tranquil Spring, enchant item with a heal effect. I mean, I can give that to the boulder, because when the boulder goes off the first time, it's just going to heal me for their max HP. I'd like something to trigger more commonly, admittedly, but like, if I'm being given the heal enchant, I'll do it. Now it life steals and heals. Wait, it heals me based on my maxed health? I know I have lifesteal. I know. I'm surprised by that. Clamorine instead of jellyfish. I think so. Crit for 4 times max HP heal, that'd be sick. Oh, it's a square bill, that's a problem. Thankfully, we've got a slow second at the very start of the fight to buy some time. Oh my god! How come your mom lets you have 2 crooks? You. Bakun, I'm gonna look at your shop for a second, because you could give me the captain's wheel upgrade, and I'd like that. Oh, Arbalest! I could get this and upgrade it!
Oh, okay. Maybe next time?
2 gold for each weapon. Buddy, just give me this. Give me the gunpowder option. Alright, gunpowder. Just ask. Just ask. Just ask. Just ask. If you want something, just ask. Oh boy. The shield and captain's wheel at 1.2 second, and then the boulder. And it's got the battery tech every 3.6 seconds. It's getting faster. Oh, cool, an upgrade. Oh, cool, an upgrade.
That's a fine piece. But it can be
Silencer gives additional cooldown reduction to the boulder. Now it happens every 10 seconds. Silencer for plus 20 damage now? No. The battery needs to be left of the boulder. Otherwise, the battery will charge the silencer, and then it will do nothing. So Master Alchemist has retooled. When you use a tool, reload 1 to adjacent items. Oh, that would reload it with the wheel. Oh. I get gunpowder for the boulder. What does it do? What did it do? It gave me 2 additional max ammo on it, so I can remove other items from my board, and now I've just got a free space to charge it up faster. Hello, YouTube in advance. This is a very slow run. YouTube is probably going to be mad at me if I put it on there. But it is a good run. We're doing the boulder. It is very slow, though. Let's go on max value here.
Stand down and submit to cryification. Target is resisting.
Target resisted. If the title is just Boulder in full exclamation, in full caps and a full stop afterwards, I would genuinely click that. Honestly, Junkmaster, it might be. Would you give the boulder a fiery enchant if it came up just so you could say you have a smolder boulder? I'm afraid I wouldn't. Cryosphere, freeze all elements on the core for 2 seconds. I can sell that. Gumballs, middle. None of these are really relevant at all. Is it possible to get Boulder quick enough that the animation overlaps? I can think of one way to do that. If we had luxury tents on this field, then Restorative the Boulder would have multicast. I guess if it was shiny as well. Still looking for Captain's Wheel? Not really. Like, it would be nice to get, because then every, 1.2 seconds I get 2 seconds of haste rather than 1 second, which would keep perma-haste on the Boulder for longer. But I think the Boulder pretty much has perma-haste already.
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy
Succulents.
that.
I just wanted to quickly check. No, you don't understand. The rock is our healer. They're very good at it. We're about to get the enchant, so... Times they are up. I think it's literally just enchanted with can't be frozen. Can't be frozen, can't be slowed. Celestial Conduit. There's no forestalling of doom. It comes for all, and especially you. Too epic for this? Alright, here's the part where I just quickly... I'm just gonna... There we go. Just in case I need them as assets for a thumbnail or something in the future, it just happens. Boulder missing friend tag? That's true. It's
Captain, but I've seen my share of stolen.
it's Atlas. What's his name? It's Atlas and what's his friend in Hades? Baldy? Does it call it Baldy? You can't stop the rock. Well, that's my first 10 wins with Vanessa in over 10 runs. I'm bad at Vanessa. I'm very glad that I played this slowly so that I could fully appreciate the possibilities that were being offered to us here. Thank you especially to Yaya for your astute observations with respect to this character. Much appreciated. That's a good build. I can't tell you anything about this build that I don't love. Big Boulder. Big Boulder. Okay, now, look at this. 2737. Okay, so before this, I think I was 2787. It'll show up briefly. 2786. Okay, so we climbed, what, 49, I guess? 49 ranks? I've got to stop paying attention to that. That will tilt me.